Dear noobs, Bitcoin's price is not naturally going down. It is whales who are placing large sell orders in an attempt to drive the price down as much as possible. This is in combination with a market that is already naturally volatile. If you zoom out, you will see that Bitcoin is trending up. Nothing has changed for Bitcoin fundamentally. The price is just cheaper. This is the pre-third halving dip that you will tell your grandkids about. Like and retweet for visibility. HODL gang, Bitcoin price 7,700 at this time in 2020. Welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for our daily videos keeping you informed on everything going on in cryptocurrency today. Bitcoin's price is down 17% in the last 3 days and 27% in the last 3 weeks. And with markets down around the world, buy the dip searches on Google have just went parabolic. Everybody is searching buy the dip on Google. You can see that here, a parabolic rise of people searching buy the dip. This shows the interest is there. And to go further, and specifically now we're just talking about Bitcoin, Bitcoin's stock to flow model is still intact. This is still valid. And this actually puts Bitcoin at a post-halving price of $55,000. Let's put this in perspective. Let's talk bigger picture. Bitcoin's prior halvings have all had similar volatility. Even though we have had unprecedented volatility in traditional markets in the recent days, Bitcoin's fundamental value proposition remains the same. Even though the short term looks extremely bearish, nothing much but the price has actually changed. There are still only 21 million Bitcoins. It is still an uncorrelated asset. It is still a censorship-resistant global peer-to-peer payments network, which is used by millions. And the tech is still developing at a record pace. And guess what? Before the last 2 halvings, we had a similar price decline, both before and after the prior halving events. So blockchaincenter.net's rainbow chart helps illustrate the price action before the prior halvings. You can see that here. You can see that before the 2 prior halvings, we had a bullish run-up in price, bullish run-up followed by a bearish decline into the blue sector of the rainbow chart, and then it went full-on bullish exponential move upwards in price after that, and it set a much higher minimum price for the bottom. So think about a big picture. This may truly be the last chance to get some heavily discounted Bitcoin before the next halving. Plan B's stock to flow model puts the price of Bitcoin after the halving at around $55,000 per Bitcoin. This definitely brings to mind the old investor's adage, buy when there is blood in the streets, even if it's your own. Think about it like this. For the past year or so, Bitcoin's price has been hovering around the actual stock to flow value of 8,000 to 8,500. For the past year or so, the actual stock to flow, what the price should be, has been around 8,000 to 8,500. And for the past year or so, Bitcoin has been, hovering around that mark, a little bit above, a little bit below, always snapping back to the stock to flow. 4 years prior to this, Bitcoin's stock to flow was a lot less, and Bitcoin's price was hovering around that as well. Now let's cut to 1 year from today, going into the next several years. We're going through the halving. Bitcoin's stock to flow is going to be, cut in half, basically, the flow. And Bitcoin's price, after the halving hits, in a few months, several months, Bitcoin's price should be around $55,000. And in a couple years from now, Bitcoin's price, stock to flow wise, should be around $100,000. Maybe $50,000 to $100,000 in a couple years will be the new normal for Bitcoin, just like Bitcoin's normal is around $8,000 today. So you can see this is just par for the course. These dips really turn out to be inconsequential when you take a look at the bigger picture. We're trending up. In other news, all regulations are bullish for Bitcoin. And in this case, just today, a U.S. congressman has introduced the Cryptocurrency Act of 2020. Will this usher in the new age? Well, let me tell you, this act, it's not perfect. Let me give you the details, but all regulation is bullish for Bitcoin. So in this case, on March 9th, Representative Paul Gosar, who's a Republican from Arizona, introduced the Cryptocurrency Act of 2020. This bill looks to choreograph a wide range of digital assets and answer appropriate questions that people and regulators have alike. What they told Cointelegraph, the people proposing this bill, they said the bill looks to provide not only clarity but legitimacy to crypto assets in the United States. That's good. Gosar's proposal divides digital assets into three categories. Three categories cryptocurrencies fall into. One is crypto commodity, one is actually cryptocurrency, and one is crypto security. Respectively, the three categories should be governed by the CFTC, the Secretary of Treasury via the FinCEN, and then finally the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. Increasingly, the language of the bill would seem to cement the status of digital assets like Bitcoin as crypto commodities rather than cryptocurrencies. The classification of cryptocurrency reads representations of the United States currency or synthetic derivative, more reminiscent of stablecoins like Tether. Interesting. The language behind crypto securities remains familiar. All debt, equity, and derivative instruments that rest on the blockchain or decentralized cryptographic ledger. And then non-fungible tokens, the bill makes no mention. So this is that exact bill. I'll leave a link in the description. Like I said, all regulations are bullish for Bitcoin. That signals to people the government's not going to ban it because the government is regulating it. Whether this specific bill is perfect, Bitcoin is a currency. Bitcoin is money. That's what I think. But either way, I think this is a net positive and a step in the right direction. In other news, if you hold Ethereum, you might be interested in this. Ethereum-based card game from Horizon raises $5 million. Check this out. Companies designing digital trading cards and online games are continuing to show their ability to rake in big bucks in the blockchain world. According to TechCrunch, Horizon Blockchain Games raised $5 million in capital for their game Skyweaver. The principal investors include Initialized Capital, with additional funds from Reha Ventures, Consensus, Digital Currency Group, Polychain Capital, Golden Ventures, and CMT Digital. This investment is an extension of the 2019 seed funding round, in which Horizon raised $3.75 million. Skyweaver, the game, is free. It's a free-to-play trading card game that unifies the best aspects of digital and physical collectible card games built on top of the Ethereum blockchain network. With this latest round of funding, the game has been continuing to close its beta testing. And then finally, what they say about their game: to make Skyweaver possible, we've developed a number of novel protocols and transaction infrastructure for Ethereum. Through clever and careful design, we've architected an Ethereum-based blockchain stack for virtual worlds that is non-custodial, i.e. players have full ownership of their items, user-friendly, and easy to build on. So this is good news for many people. And probably the final story that I want to talk about today, we'll just mention it. Jack Dorsey will most likely be staying on as Twitter's CEO. This is good news for Bitcoin. Am I right? So just the rundown: Dorsey to remain CEO amid boardroom shakeup. Dorsey, is he overburdened or is he coping well by his multiple jobs? Dorsey is good for Bitcoin. So Twitter has come to an agreement with activist investor Elliott Management, the new equity partners in Twitter's company, in which Jack Dorsey retains his position as CEO. The announcement represents a major victory for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency community. Actually, there is one thing that I want to end this video with, and that is the fact that the video I put out yesterday is missing. We put out a video yesterday, you might remember how I talked about, speculated that this is the first mainstream bull market for Bitcoin. Actually, if you head on over to our Twitter, I've been tweeting all weekend. Team YouTube has not gotten back to me. Just 3 hours ago, I said, hey, Team YouTube, did you have a nice weekend? That's nice. My weekend wasn't that great. Yeah, I got a video striked and removed. Harmful or dangerous content. And if you look up what exactly that's defined as in accordance with YouTube's community guidelines, that's literally what you'd think, harmful or dangerous content. That was not this video. So, Team YouTube, please look into it. My video did not break any rules. Thank you. So this is one of several tweets that I put out. If you guys could head on over to our Twitter, link in the description, and kind of retweet this and like this and, get Team YouTube to wake up. That would really help us out. Anyway, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be a great year.